In this video, I'll be covering advanced ERL and IRL. If you're struggling to read price action or the higher time frame direction, this video will probably give you some clarity on that or some sort of light bulb moment. Firstly, I'll briefly cover what ERL and IRL is. ERL, or external range liquidity, is any swing high or low, and IRL, or internal range liquidity, is a gap. The first example I will cover is IRL to ERL, or internal to external. As you can see on the right, I've marked out a fair value gap that price trades into. This is the first step, or number one. After this, we can then expect price to trade into an ERL, or in this example, a swing low. This is how I'm sure a lot of you are currently trading or reading price action. The next example we have on the right is ERL to IRL, which is the opposite of the example on the left. After trading to a high or our ERL, we can then expect price to trade into IRL, or for this example, the fair value gap I have marked out. This two-step process is a very simplified approach to reading price, but I'm sure a lot of you are watching this video as this fails for you. And this is because you aren't using an advanced approach to reading price action. I'll first go over why price does not trade into ERL. Here we have two correlated assets. Pause the video quickly and see if you can notice anything different about both of these charts. Hopefully, you can see that the asset on the left took out our ERL, where the one on the right failed to. This is called our SMT divergence. When we have this divergence between our correlated assets, we can expect our ERL to fail, and our internal to external approach to fail as well. It is absolutely vital that you incorporate this into your trading, as it signals that a reversal is being prepared. I'll go over the confirmation of SMT in a future video, but before going over why your IRL fails, I want to take a deeper dive into SMT. Many of you watching are probably aware of quarterly theory, but I'll quickly cover it for those who aren't. There are many SMTs that occur during their markets, some of which fail and some of which work. Sequential SMT provides a filter for which SMTs to fade and which to trade. You can refer to a different video on this channel for a better explanation of this, but in short, we want to be using an SMT between consecutive quarters for a higher probability SMT, as shown by the two colored boxes below. This is still very surface level, so I highly encourage you to investigate this more in your own time. Next is why your IRL fails. When you see that price takes the external range liquidity, there are times in which price fails to trade to your internal range liquidity, and this is because we have something called SMT fill, which you can see on the examples we have here. Once again, we have two correlated assets, where on the left we trade into an IRL, or the fair value gap I've marked out, and on the right we fail to trade into that same fair value gap. If you were looking on the right asset to trade into the gap, you would have been confused as to why it failed, and this SMT fill explains why. Hopefully by now you've had your light bulb moment and you're starting to understand why you failed to read the higher time frame direction. I'll now go over a trade I took a couple of days ago and how I used advanced ERL and IRL concepts to take it. So, going into Thursday, our goal as intraday traders are to determine where the daily candle is likely to trade to. After taking this ERL, I wanted to see this daily fair value gap be traded to, and you can see that we had that happen on Thursday on ES, but not on AQ, and this is a reason as to why I closed my trade here instead of here. Okay, so expecting that this was going to be taken, I can move on to the lower time frame to frame a trade idea trading towards this target. As you can see, the ERL IRL concepts are fractal, and so we can apply it on the lower time frame. After the expansion in the PM session, we saw the AM, or we saw Asia and London consolidate, and we could have then expected a expansion in New York AM. Here we have this daily cycle sequential SMT, so I should be using the 15-minute time frame for, but you can still see it. You can see price took the ERL on NQ and failed to take the ERL on ES and YM, but we still saw that reversal happen, and this is that SMT that we mentioned before. Then had something that I haven't mentioned in this video yet, but we have in previous videos. We have something called a precision candle, and after forming this SMT on the candle after, I expected to see expansion lower. And you can see we had this SMT and this 1 hour precision candle, and therefore traded lower to the previous day low and these daily fair value gap on ES. And by trading into the daily fair value gap on ES and failing to on NQ, this is our daily SMT fill, or our advanced internal range liquidity concept. And this is why we then saw a reversal here. And you could have used this to frame a long, although I didn't. And I'll quickly go over my trade execution, or my lower time frame execution for this trade. So if we move on to the 5-minute time frame, after the daily cycle sequential SMT formed, my entry was based on this 5-minute change in the state of delivery, and I'm sure I'll get a screenshot of the trade on the screen, with my trade being closed after previous day low was taken and after the daily fair value gap was taken on ES. And this was the trade I took on Tuesday. And it's not complicated, it's extremely simple. And this is all that you need when you're trading. You do not need numerous different concepts and things that you're looking for, because at the end of the day, simplicity is what you want. And so this is a trade that I took using the advanced ERL and IRL concepts. So just to recap, we had our ERL on the highs telling me that we were going to trade to the IRL down here, and then I used the same concept, but we had an SMT, or the daily cycle sequential SMT, on the lower time frames, paired with a 1 hour precision candle, and then traded lower from there, and then using my entry model on the lower time frames. Then we closed our trade since we took the previous day low, and we had that advanced IRL concept being that daily SMT fill. And so this is why we then failed to trade through this low. So hopefully that made sense, and it gave you some sort of light bulb moment as to how to read price action on the higher time frames. But don't forget, everything is fractal, so we can apply the same advanced ERL and IRL concepts on the lower time frame as I did here. So hopefully you learned something from this video, and feel free to comment down below any more video topics that you'd like me to cover.